In Jesus' day, many people felt valueless. They didn't live up to the high standards that their religious teachers were giving them. They weren't well versed in all the ins and outs of the law and the traditions of the older men. They were viewed as ignorant, accursed people. Some of them were even thrown out of the synagogue and shunned. It is no wonder they felt worthless. Here's the question for you. Those people, were they really worthless? And what about today? Personally, do you feel worthless in the eyes of God? Do you ever feel like you aren't good enough? Many people who are in a controlling religious environment often feel this way. They feel like they aren't doing enough, and what they are doing isn't quality enough. And in some way, shape, or form, they feel like they're not measuring up, like they're just making God angry. When you feel that you're on God's trash heap, you can easily throw your relationship with God away. You can easily throw yourself away. Thus far, we've been discussing a series of 3 parables that Jesus gave the religious leaders of his day. Now, these are the same religious leaders who became very angry, and they grumbled over the fact that Jesus did not shun those who had fallen into a course of sin. And the second parable, found at Luke chapter 15, verses 8 through 10, Jesus showed just how much our Heavenly Father values us. Notice how Jesus explains this by way of his parable. Or what woman, having 10 silver coins, if she loses 1 coin, does not light a lamp and sweep the house and seek diligently until she finds it? And when she has found it, she calls together her friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice with me, for I have found the coin that I had lost." Just so, I tell you, there is joy before the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Quite likely, we have often heard the phrase undeserved kindness as a translation of the Greek word charis. However, Strong's Concordance defines the word as grace, favor, kindness. You see, the word undeserved is really unnecessary. Now, it is true that God's kindness cannot be earned by any amount of works, so that God would owe us and be in our debt. But being hit in the head with the word undeserved time and time again might make us lose sight of a most precious truth. Well, what is this most precious truth? Well, it is this. We are very valuable to our Heavenly Father. Now, despite our imperfections and our sinful nature, how does God really view us? Well, consider again the woman in Jesus' parable. When she finds the coin, do you think it is in mint condition? Hardly. It's probably quite filthy, having been on the floor and swept up with the dirt. But what is of more concern to the woman, the filth or the value of the coin? Similarly, inherited sin hides our true worth, and the more we roll on the ground, the dirtier we will become. But beneath that layer of sinful grime is the very treasure that God seeks. Now, what is that treasure? Well, what is the treasure of any parent if it is not their children? Yes, we are children of God, made in His image. Somewhere inside, perhaps dormant, we bear the same qualities as our Heavenly Father. We have a finite measure of love, justice, wisdom, and power, even if it's hidden by layers of sin. The woman, when she finds the coin, would she not clean it in soap and water? Similarly, we would expect our Father, when He finds a lost one, He would clean them by means of Christ's blood. In fact, each one of us is so valuable that God paid the highest possible price for us. You see, Christ handed Himself over for you as an individual. You see, dear one, you are that valuable. Therefore, do not let anyone convince you that you do not deserve God's grace, favor, and kindness.